Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. Dr. Azima, I'm a fellow classmate. So we are from group 2 would like to demonstrate and discuss comprehensive approaches to increasing e-waste involvement. But first, allow me to introduce myself and my team members. So my name is Farrah Yusrena along with Raiffaris, Erfan and Athirah Zaini. So without further ado, let us begin. So here are the methods and approaches employed by the chosen nation to boost involvement in the e-waste agenda. This method includes awareness, policy, technology, reverse logistics, management practices, as well as revisit e-waste practices. Okay, let's begin with awareness. One of the most important approaches to enhance participation and understanding of e-waste management among younger generation, particularly university students, is to promote awareness. Why? This is due to the fact that they are the ones who are most accountable for the rise in gadget usage. As we discovered, students are aware of e-waste, but they do not know how to properly dispose or manage e-waste. Instead, they simply store it in their home, which is quite unsafe considering that e-waste includes harmful components. Therefore, this might begin at the university level with participation from the university administration, student organization, and the student themselves. This will not work unless everyone plays their part. Therefore, we must all work together to lessen the impact on the environmental and our health. As a result, awareness may be promoted by developing a program on appropriate e-waste management or how to properly dispose of e-waste. Following that, we may raise awareness with a marketing strategy. So how are we going to do that? Accordingly, in essence, it includes the government of both developed and developing economies in raising awareness and supporting e-waste collection. As a result, it will benefit both manufacturers and consumers in terms of e-waste creation, recycling, and the environmental and health consequences of improper e-waste disposal. Moving on to the next approach, policy. It is a statement of intent and is implemented as a procedure or protocol. First and foremost, the EPR policy, as standard producer responsibility, is the first policy that has the potential to encourage e-waste involvement. It is the most generally promoted way of dealing with e-waste management, and it is critical to promote the 3 R's, which are reduce, reuse, and recycle. Having this policy enables companies to contribute to the solution for the environmental and health challenges associated with the waste electrical and electronic equipment, WEEs. Furthermore, this policy is built on the polluter pays principle, which implies through this policy mechanism, producers are physically or financially accountable for the collection and recovery of end-of-life electronic in order to redirect hazardous substances away from landfill. In addition, there are 3 types of policy instruments that may be used to implement EPR in a large sense. These are administrative, economic, and informational instruments. Using this instrument necessitates a well-structured institutional infrastructure and a well-coordinated e-waste sector, particularly in the poor nation. Another policy is the implementation of 6 rules and regulations for long-term e-waste management. These regulations were put in place as a result of e-waste management. For instance, recycling may have a detrimental impact on the environment and human health. This is seen in informal recycling, which include unregulated dumping, open burning, and open acid leaching. As a result, laws and regulations were developed, the first of which is to have a thorough understanding of recyclable material. Following that, hazardous substances that may be created during the manufacturing of new electronic devices, as well as the treatment of e-waste, must be monitored. Then there are advanced treatment approaches and technical expertise. Active community engagement is also required as it is adherence to stringent and necessary regulation. Finally, scheme and policy must be effectively executed. So let us now move on to the technological section, where numerous technology has been explored and recommended. An IoT-based collective vending machine (CVM) is one of the technologies that might be utilized to enhance the e-waste management engagement. This model is completely functional and automated, and it is utilized to tackle the disposal problem through an intelligent and digitalized approach. Before I explain on how it works, I would like to point out that this approach saves time and money because it is powered by cloud and IoT to send an alert message when the CVM level is reached. This is the CVM workflow. Firstly, to get a QR code, the user must first register with the system in order to send their e-waste, and the information is kept safe. Next, the software system thread function, which uses Google API, allow the user to locate nearby vending machine. After scanning the QR code, the system will generate a receipt with a barcode that the consumer must attach to the item and dispose of in the CVM. The collector will then collect the e-waste from the CVM and transfer it to the warehouse for recycling and invoicing. After completing the whole reconstruction and assembly operation, the customer will receive the maximum permissible amount in their account associated with packet ID. That is all from me. So further explanation on other technologies will be explained by Raiffaris.
Thank you, Farrah, Yusrena. Now I'm going to continue the list of technological ways in order to increase the participation of e-waste agenda. Now, according to research done by a conglomerate of universities in United Kingdoms and in Pakistan, they found out that only 28% of e-waste, especially printed circuit boards or better known as PCB, are being recycled. The rest of it either being incarcerated or tossed in the landfill. This is because the highly heterogeneous features of the PCBs make it hard for e-workers to sort the PCBs into their own classes, which can be very time consuming and costly operation. So they have developed a system called deep convolutional neural networks. Now, these technology are designed to be used to detect the e-waste image of the PCBs and automatically will be differentiated into their own classes of recycle use, which can be very efficient. The next technological ways, it has something to do with blockchain and e-waste incorporated it together. They plan to do this by installation of satellite recycling terminals in places where individuals and public can trade their end-of-life electronic items for digital tokens such as Bitcoin. Now, the data on each product that entered into the machines will become a part of permanent record in the blockchain ledger. So the value of each item has been automatically calculated for their estimated cost for repair and refurbishment. With this technology, all parties, including the original manufacturer, will have access to the financial and also the physical fate of the product. It will ensure that honest profit sharing among the manufacturers and also reduce the waste of electronic device. Moving on to the next technology is called SASWI, a short form for Sustainable Waste Electric and Electronic Equipment. Now, SASWI comprises of 4 levels of method, which is background information, waste electric and electronic equipment generation, waste electric and electronic equipment technical performance, and also sustainability. SASWI is a methodology solely to recycle electronic waste in a sustainable way. Another technological solution is a wide use of e-cloud. Now, e-cloud would allow a corporation to achieve better scalability. It also can reduce software and maintenance expenses because of the most fundamental skills are required to reach the cloud over the internet is easy. Now, by implementing the suggested model of e-cloud, resources output may be minimized, resulting in a less e-waste production, particularly in the long run. Furthermore, to increase the participation of e-waste agenda, it also must include the youth level. Now, in what better ways to include the youth level if not by tapping into their best interest, which is gaming? So that's why developers have developed a technology called smart gloves. Now, smart gloves can be connected to smartphones where youth can play games about e-waste workers. Now, the smart glove will be stimulate the forces and motion experienced by an e-waste worker during the processing of e-waste recycling. The gaming dynamics will be having a process of disabling, testing, and breaking electronic goods. And the last technological solution to increase the participation of e-waste agenda is a technological breakthrough by Institute of Technology in India, where the authors had conducted an experimental investigation towards using the e-waste to be reused as a concrete or filler in the construction industry. Now, this technology, it can be one of the ways to economically and technically viable to solving the disposal a large amount of e-waste. And surprisingly enough, the results shown that a concrete with e-waste substance show a stronger and more stable concrete to be compared to the traditional ones. That's all from me. I will pass it on to the next presenter, Athirah.
Thank you, Raif, for the great explanations. So we move to the next point, which is reverse logistic. Reverse logistic entails more than just processing returns and recovering or reusing discard components. It also entails extending the design and other areas of the product life cycle in order to reduce the global pollution caused by household waste. There are several advantages of reverse logistic if all operations are effectively managed. First is waste and environmental management, which is achieved through activities such as refurbishing, remanufacturing, reuse, recycling, and asset recovery. The organization will be more environmentally conscious and capable of implementing green practices. Second is may assist organizations and businesses in becoming more environmentally friendly by extending standard product life cycle. And last is reduce costs, where we can reduce through recycling items, materials, and components rather than disposing or landfilling them, which has an adverse impact on the environment. Moreover, management practices are also one of the points that we need to do to encourage people of e-waste management. First is WEE management, which there are two ways, lean concept and just-in-time, JIT. First, lean concept. Lean concept was used to recover WEE management as a way to eliminate waste, reduce non-value procedure, and boost value added. The use of 5S techniques, which is sort, straighten, shine, standardize, and sustain, is made possible by the lean approach. Basically, the lean idea entails making better use of existing resources when they are most needed. Next is just-in-time or JIT. It is to gain efficiency, which waste is eliminated by collecting commodities or things when they are required. JIT has also aided in reducing waste and improving the productivity, efficiency, and flow of the manufacturing process. Besides, containers can help in handling of small e-waste. The collection of tiny WEE in containers has been studied in several locations, including municipal collection facilities, supermarkets, shopping malls, residential neighborhoods, and seasonal collection stations. We move to the last point, which is revisit e-waste practices. Basically, e-waste has been dumped in Africa for a long time, and those who work with waste sector are often unskilled and exposed to hazardous chemicals. As a consequence, it reveals that e-waste still not recognized as a health and environment concern in many countries, and that less attention to be paid of it. Because of that, there are 4 solutions were suggested based on the article what we had read before this. First is establish recycling technologies and also provide technical and safety training for workers who work in recycling sector. Next is engage with responsible importers by imposing a recycling charge can serve as a model if rectified by formalizing importers and prohibiting illegal import techniques. And last is avoid illegal dumping and emissions, and creating jobs in the recycling sector is to maintain an accurate record of e-waste volume and type. Finally, we can conclude that the matter of e-waste is one of the world's most recent rising issues. Because of that, there are holistic approach to promote e-waste involvement for all people. First is raise awareness among people. Second, provide rules for electronic device growth. Third, advance technology in e-waste agenda such as e-clouds, smart glove, and e-waste concrete. And moreover, reverse logistics might be another strategy to increase e-waste involvement, followed by management practices and revisit e-waste practices. Apart of that, we can say that increased participation in the e-waste agenda give benefit in many aspects, such as it gives clean environment where the waste from electronics save space in the landfills and prevent the environmental pollutions. And e-waste also good for the economy. It is because goods which made from recycled material use less water, create less pollutions, and recycling can reduce the production cost of goods. And last is electronic waste can be reused because it contains a lot of components that can be reutilized. So that's all from us. Thank you.